Hello guys, it is Alarmix and welcome to my channel. Going through the ranks in Apex's ranked mode can sometimes be a pretty tough task, and for some people it can seem pretty challenging to make it into a league like say Platinum. So the last week I went out of my way to grind away ranked and compile what I think is the very best tip list on how to rank up in Apex Legends faster on all of the internet. I have so many tips for you guys I'm really excited to share. If you want to rank up in Apex Legends, this is the place to be. Spoiler alert, sometime during these tips, you will see the most strange, but probably the single most helpful tip you will ever see in any video in Apex Legends. My very first tip, before you even get into a match, you have to find a reliable squad. When you're playing ranked in Apex Legends, don't ever even think about solo queuing. If you guys are having trouble finding someone to play with, use an app like Discord or GamerLink to find someone to play with. When you're in a reliable squad, you don't have to worry about how your teammates play. You learn the game, and as you play together more, everyone plays better. And my very next tip, loot quickly and group up. Right as you land into a game, make sure you aren't landing on top of other people to make sure that this works. I'd recommend with your squad spreading out into an individual building or looting spot, and right as you guys can pick up a gun and just get decent enough loot, group up as a squad and go push isolated enemies. This is a really great way to get easy kills off the bat in the game. A really easy and helpful tip is just using a legend that you have the most success with. Don't be trying anything new in ranked, you're trying to rank up. And also don't be pressured into using a legend that you're really not good with. Unless it's for team chemistry, like say something like using Lifeline. Think back in the past and use the legend that you have always had the most success with. And also going into my next tip, something pretty similar. Use weapons that you have the most success with. Now there are obviously guns that are better than others in the game, but everyone's roles on teams and playstyle will affect how each gun affects a player during a game. If you have learned that you're terrible with the longbow and you see it on the ground, unless you have no other choice, don't pick it up. Use something that you're confident with. And my next tip, learn how to avoid from being third-partied. Two situations that I could think of that you could plan ahead and avoid being third-partied from are, one, if you are fighting an enemy and they have their back to the circle and you have your back to the middle of the circle, if anyone comes to third-party that fight, you're getting shot first. And the second way, and I think this is a little easier way to do it, if you are in an extended gunfight, like you're either having a sniper battle or you're just having a fight that just seems like it's taking forever. If you're ever in a situation like this, chances are you are probably gonna get third-partied. Like, there's a very high chance. If a fight goes on for too long, it's not a bad call to tell your teammates that you should get out of there right now. My next tip, don't force yourself into pushing. If you're using the longbow or Kraber and you snipe someone, or even if you're using the R301 and you down someone from range, or even say if you nade inside of a building where there's Watson fences all over, caustic traps, I guarantee you, it is not a very good idea to push even if you down one person. My next tip, this is kind of an obvious one, you've heard it before, but I cannot stress how important it is. Stick with your team. This is by far the biggest team chemistry thing. If you stick closer together, you give yourself a better chance at say like things like 2v1s, 3v1s. My most success by far with any squad is when we're just sticking together. When you guys are in ranked and do manage to get kills, thirst kills, then shield swap. People are playing in squads with their friends and they really don't want to die. People prioritize even more in ranked, rezzing their teammates. If you end them, they obviously cannot be picked up right away. You might take a few hits in the process, but once you end them, you can pick up their shield to heal. And I highly recommend you guys doing this as often as you can. But don't do it if there's a guy sitting there shooting you in your face. And for my next tip, let's talk about rotations. So right as you land into the game, early game, like I said at the beginning of the video, right as you land in, you should loot up, group up, and fight the other squad right off the bat. During mid-game, I recommend you guys trying to just go after third parties or getting better set up, like getting high ground. And once it gets to the very end of the game, the late game, you should try to third party at range. If there's 5 squads left in a decently small circle, if one gunfight happens and you go up close to third party, people are already thinking about that. You're gonna get screwed, at least from my experience. Another tip that I see players like Shroud using is burn your exits. I used to go into fights with the mentality that I'm gonna try to use a full clip of my gun, and if I don't get them, I'm gonna run away. No, you go into fights with 2 guns. You should really focus on killing the guy if you're going in to rush him. A lot of times when people die, they say, you know, we should have ran away sooner. Me, myself, I used to use running away as an excuse to like not hitting my shots. You shouldn't be looking at your health bar when you're in gunfights. You should be focusing on shooting the guy in the face. A lot of times when people heavily damage you, they expect you to run away. This is a really great time to take advantage of that. Telling yourself that you're gonna do your best to kill this guy right here, right now, will bring out the very best of your skill. Something that really has helped me in Apex is just concentrating, ignoring distractions, and concentrating on my aim. Something that you guys can do to help this is just do that same exact thing and then adjust your sensitivity. Me, myself, I've always found my perfect sensitivity, but if you guys have not been adjusting it or you haven't adjusted it in the past and found a sweet spot, you should do that right now. Or actually, wait, don't click out of the video. You should do that after the video. My next tip, focus fire on people with gold shields. People with gold shields, if you shoot them, they're gonna go to behind cover and they can heal a lot faster. Another tip, use good weapon combos. Last season in Kings Canyon, you could have got away with using something like an R99 in Peacekeeper. But this season, this map is long range and you will also have close quarters fights. So I recommend using something like a Peacekeeper and an R301, something for close range and long range. My next tip, use comms correctly. Don't say enemies are low if their shields aren't off or if they aren't low. A good call out for comms are focus fire on one enemy. It can be really useful at long range. Use other simple call outs that are straight to the point that don't distract your teammates from fighting, like I'm healing, I'm reloading, there's a third party coming, or other simple things like that. When you guys are dropping into a game, you have to know how to drop. If the ship line is going directly over where you're landing, it's best that you wait until you're exactly 400 meters away. That's kind of the sweet spot. You kind of want to get really close with the ship. Ship moves really fast compared to your jetpack legend. Let's say the ship line is like 100 meters to the left of where you're trying to drop. You should try to drop then like 500 meters away. And if it's even further away where you're trying to drop, you should try to adjust accordingly. I hope I explained that okay. Another huge tip, watch others play. Others have picked up things that you've not. I have found huge benefit from watching people even like Shroud play. You'll never play like them, but you should pick something up. My next tip, kind of like this, study good mechanics. There's tutorials on YouTube that I'm not gonna do right now on how to move well, how to aim really well, that really show you the bare bones mechanics of this game and how to succeed. If you aren't good with these mechanics, you're just not gonna rank up in Apex Legends, at least as fast as what you'd like to. Now, here's some really weird tip that I was talking about. Like, this might seem pretty strange to you, and I'm just gonna say this one straight up. Here it goes, nutrition. Now this is something super sweaty, but if you guys are really trying to improve yourself the best, and if you're really trying to succeed and rank up in Apex Legends, maybe try this. You dedicated enough time and effort into getting to the end of this video, so I'm sure it wouldn't hurt if you ate decently, you know, before you played. Just like athletes, when they perform, they don't eat candy and pop before the game because they would perform horribly. Like, I'm not trying to put down junk food while you're gaming because that's the whole stereotype and I know how fun it is. But if you guys are really just struggling to really play this game well and rank up and compete versus others, if you really want to go that extra mile, don't eat junk food all day and expect to rank up a lot in Apex. And something else that kind of falls into the same category of this, like, you know, using your body to your advantage. Something that is huge. your body positioning. If you're on a controller, you know, if you've ever watched those COD tournaments or whatever you guys watch competitively, you see how they're positioned. Like, it gives your controller your best possible chance at expressing your skills. And if you're on PC, things like using your whole arm to move your mouse or having your monitor pretty low, at least for me, that's what helps. And the very last thing that's kind of weird that applies to your body. If you ever watched yourself play before, if you're ever in a major gunfight and you were wondering, you know, what was I thinking there? Well, maybe your breathing was off. If you're sitting there and huffing and puffing and not really getting oxygen into your brain, that could be a huge reason why you died. It's a scientific fact that when you breathe deeply, that you think more clearly. That'll be about it for the video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. If you are still watching, please hit that subscribe button. I think since the last video we gained like 20 subscribers. I'm really excited with this channel, and I think we're only gonna keep on growing even faster. But anyways, have a great rest of your day.